Hey there, everyone. It's Fred Thomas at AD Bikes. I hope you're all doing fine. And hey, the USA Cycling organization sent me a link saying that they would love to have the opinions of AD Racing on how they can organize races once, races safely once things start getting back to normal. So I thought I'd just take the survey and you guys can watch along and help me answer some of the answers. So here it is. It's you get it directly if you are a USA cycling event organizer. Let's see, how old am I? Yeah, I'm 50 plus, and they want to find out, what everyone's thinking about how to get the racing going again. Let's see, I do mostly road, maybe cyclocross. I don't know. Oops, I guess I can only do one or the other. If you got any, insights on this as I go through it, let me know. We're in Maine. How many cycling events were you registered for in 2020 that have been canceled? So I was registered for the Scarborough Crit Series and Crank the Cank. So let's call that, 6 or 7 races. I was ready to sign up for Mount Washington, but that went, I never did because things started getting canceled. So, right. If you still have events on your 2020 calendar and assuming public health officials' guidelines allow them to take place, will you participate? Yeah, I think I would. It's, if you got any questions while you take this, let me know. I'll be checking in on that. Yeah, I think so. It's right now I might say I'm not sure, but I'm going to say yes. If allowed, will you be attending any cycling events in 2020 that weren't in your initial plans? I don't think so. I'm a creature of habit. I think I end up hitting the same races all the time. I might break out of the mold. I was hoping to go to nationals this year again in Colorado, but that seems sort of distant. But I would aspire to that. And what level do you plan to participate at when races and rides return? Well, certainly local. Yeah, probably national. That's been the thing lately. A lot of the regional races I've done, and this is in my capacity on AD Racing, which is a USA cycling club and team. Most of I think the things are so busy that it's just easier to do the very local races like the Time Trial Series and the Scarborough Crit Series and the cross races that are in the neighborhood. A lot of the regional things, they're just not happening anymore, and they require big commitment. So the Vermont races are great. I would do those. Okay, so I'll say regional, but some of the regional one-day classics, I think those are just not feasible. Will COVID-19's financial impact prevent you from participating in cycling events? I wonder what they mean by that. Financial impact. Probably. My racing is so minimal. I'm going to say no. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one. I'll put no. Okay. Next, let's see. Let's check in with you guys. All right, you seeing how this works? Let me know if you got any observations or. New England. By the way, New England Bike Racing Association is encouraging everybody to take this survey and get it in because it really helps USA Cycling with their job, and they're doing a good job being on top of this. They were way ahead of the curve in terms of getting people to take it seriously. They were pretty decisive in canceling events. So let's, they have our best interests at heart. So let's help them in this tough time. Let's see. Number 10, if events are allowed, will you be participating more or less in the past? I'm on the way out. I'm 50 plus, probably less. That's already happening. I'll be there in spirit. If allowed under local guidelines, how comfortable do you personally feel participating in group rides? Um, pretty comfortable. Pretty comfortable, so long as they don't, around here, in the summertime, our group ride used to get really big. It went from being 30 people in the spring to as many as 80 people in the summer. I don't know if that happens anymore. So I'd be comfortable so long as it's, not too big. I guess I have to explain that later somewhere. When we have the return of cycling events, how much do you plan on spending on the following categories? Registration, I see. So probably, how do I answer that? Less registration. I think it's fair to say less travel. Or I'm going to say actually the same, because again, I'm sort of hit sort of a stable level where I'm not racing anywhere near as much as I used to, but I don't certainly foresee racing substantially less. Merchandise, I'm just not a big merchandise. I get so much of it, so I'm going to put less there. Okay. Hopefully this is helpful. Yeah, you can at least see how I'm doing it. All right, USA Cycling COVID-19 Rider Survey. How important do you feel the following items are to your safety when you are considering participating in an event? Please use a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being not important and 5 being extremely important. Reducing field sizes. Yeah, I think that's important. It hasn't been, let's just say the last time I was in a really unsafe big field was at the World Championship events, the UCI events, where everyone in the world's coming from all over, and every 50 to 54 riders in the same category, 250 people. That wasn't terribly safe. But around here, I can't really speak to that because, but anyway, let's say it's very important. You don't want fields being way too big. Limiting or eliminating spectators. I think limiting. I mean, there's so few spectators anyway, but maybe there's some. It's important. But let's call it somewhat important. Limiting spectators. I mean, at the Nationals in Georgia, for example, all the spectators were at the start finish, and that was fine. It seemed to work. But you certainly don't want them to go away. But maybe there could be a way to space them out along the course. I mean, it was a 20-mile loop. You can fit a lot of people there. Okay, limiting or eliminating water stops and/or aid stations. I don't know if that's so important. I don't really know why I'm saying that, but let me read the question again. How important is it do you feel the following are to your safety when you're considering participating in an event? Okay, to my safety, limiting or eliminating on-site pickup. I don't think that's so important. Oh dear, requiring spectators to wear face masks. I think that's somewhat important, at least in the early phases. But maybe very important, okay? Because if everybody wears a mask, then at least we're not making it easier for things to spread. Participating at an event held in a major metropolitan area. Yeah, I mean, that sounds a pretty important consideration. We don't want to go to a hotspot and have a big race. Let's see, participating in an event attended by a large amount of people from outside the area. Well, I mean, if everyone's wearing a mask, maybe, and spread out around the route, maybe that's not so important. Participating at an indoor event. I think I'll call that somewhat important. Hopefully I'm being helpful to USA Cycling here. Participating in an outdoor event. Let's read the question again. How important do you feel it is following your safety? I think that's not somewhat important. All right, guys, almost getting through it. This will be an interesting record when we're done. participating in an event restricted to only athletes from the same state. I think I'm going to give that to sort of the middle of the road. Participating in an event requiring temperature checks on all athletes. Wow. I guess that's pretty important, because that's helping people know what their circumstances are. Participating in an event that I have to fly to. Yeah, I think that's, I mean, I'm not sure I'm going to fly to an event. I mean, I was thinking of driving to Colorado for the Nationals anyway. The event's location in yeah, I think that's probably important. Let's call that extremely important. Availability of virus and/or, I mean, yeah, that seems important too. Yeah, I mean, I think that's, hopefully that makes sense. But just to summarize my own opinion, I have the feeling that if spectators wear masks and are spread out, and we're not racing in a hotspot, and if people are able to tell whether they have been exposed to the virus, then we're moving in the right direction. Let's see. Okay, is it important to have sanitizer, hand washing station available at the event? Yes. I'm okay with sanitizer station only. Could you answer both? Okay, yes. Based on current data about the pandemic, what size events would you be comfortable participating in after returning together? Yeah, I think an event, I wonder if they mean the field size or just the total number of people. Yeah, probably 100 max. Based on current data about the pandemic, how far in advance would you be comfortable registering for an event? Oh boy, I'm pretty short term, so I'd be going 1 week. How comfortable would you be with pre-registration for an event? Oh, I think very comfortable. I think that's the way I normally do it. I wonder what they're getting at with that. All right, hopefully this is not putting too many of you to sleep, but that's a good exercise. Let me know if you got any insights. I'm taking the USA Cycling COVID-19 Rider Survey, and it's a good exercise. If you're racing bikes, go ahead and find the time to do it, because it really helps USA Cycling plan for the return of racing. And they're there for us. Okay, would you like to see clearly published information on what steps have been taken to minimize risk of COVID outbreak? Yeah, that's always a good idea. Would you like to see a clearly published refund policy before committing to event? I think it's pretty, it can't hurt. I mean, you already see it on Bike Reg when you sign up usually. Anyway, what the heck, say yes. How far in advance would you like to know if the ride or race is canceled or postponed? Well, I don't know. I think a week would be nice, but lots of times the planners can't really, it's hard for them. Okay, where would you prefer to see updates made about the event? Well, email is always good, probably the event website. If an event is canceled, would you be comfortable with a no refund or limited refund policy to help the event? Yeah, I think limited refund, no refund, maybe under some circumstance. Please provide any additional feedback on what will make you feel comfortable to attend a cycling event if allowed by the appropriate authorities. Well, I think it was, I think I just sort of discovered in my answers that testing, mask use, I mean, testing is it's sort of unreasonable because no one can really get a test. So let's say, well, at least not me anyway, mask use, testing, you can always aspire to that. Come on, why can't I spell testing? And then events, hold events outside of hotspots, clearly. Yeah, it's a tough one. Not too large. I don't know, maybe some sort of policy where riders have to state to the best of their knowledge, I don't have the virus. I mean, just to get people to sort of think carefully. Disclosure policy, so they can say, I have not been to a hotspot lately. Sort of a good faith effort. I don't know. Anyway, that's done. But that is a good, healthy exercise, I think. Thank you for enduring that. I mean, this will be, oh, look, we just had a comment. Hey, okay, I was looking forward to Crank the Cank in Washington before the virus hits. Yeah, I know, me too. Let me see how this works. Me too. But I think it was the right thing to cancel. Chris Starling, who organizes Crank the Cank, he let us know pretty far in advance that it wasn't going to happen. And then, in fact, if it had happened, I think it was going to happen today, I'm not sure, May 9th, or was it next weekend? But if it happened today, Saturday, it would have been one of the coldest Crank the Canks ever, because this morning it was snowing down in Portland. So it's probably ski weather up in New Hampshire. Anyway, that's a good exercise. Again, if you are a racing cyclist if you're a racing cyclist and you're thinking about getting back at some point, just take that USA Cycling survey. It's on their website. It's they'll email it to you. I take a few minutes to go through it. It's a pretty good exercise. I learned from doing it that I want to race. I would be very pleased to get back into some races, but from answering those questions, I realized that it would, the races would have to be smaller initially, anyways. Certainly nearby, and it would be good to have spectators wearing masks and some hand sanitizers or some that kind of resource available at the event. I mean, ideally, some kind of testing would be nice, but that's sort of, I guess, I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I mean, no one seems to be thinking that that's going to happen in the short term, but maybe 3 or 4 months from now, they will be available, and maybe that would be a reasonable requirement. I don't know. Alrighty, guys. Well, that's that. Thanks for checking this out, and take that survey, and see you again soon.